Welcome back to Echo Ridge in another episode here in our Captain of Industry series, where I was really hoping not to start the episode with a problem, but you know how it goes. I started up Captain of Industry this morning thinking that we're going to be able to start some new whiz-bang stuff when I realized our maintenance is plummeting quite fast. Well, wait a minute, where's my maintenance depot? It's right here. Does anybody see the problem? Some clown put a conveyor belt full of vehicle parts going into the maintenance depot. Well, the maintenance depot doesn't require vehicle parts, it requires mechanical parts. I don't know what I was thinking, but either way, we have to get this fixed in rather soon. Oh yay, maintenance is down at 0 now. In fact, I'm just gonna remove this whole thing because the parts we need are both right here. Do let me pause before we hit a spiral of death. There we go, that should work out much better. Now we have the appropriate parts going into the maintenance depot. Makes me wonder, how long have we been without new maintenance? Because I'm pretty sure we built that last maintenance depot maybe 2 episodes ago. Now right now it looks like the bottleneck is our mechanical parts. We have 2 assembly 2s cranking them out using the iron plate, but so far it's not enough. And we didn't have a lot of backstock in the warehouse, and the maintenance depot is churning through them, as are the mechanical parts. Mostly because I keep making more trucks. I added 4 more standard trucks, and I had planned to add a bunch more excavators because I'd really like to get this seaport finished, because there's another problem that is coming around the bend really quickly, and that's the fact that these oil pumps are down to 27,000 barrels, or 45% of what we started with. So I'm going to need to start getting oil in. We do have the wonderful Oil Rig 2 out here that is able to give us a bunch of oil, but I haven't built that cargo shipyard again yet. There are some other oil patches, most notably that we can get to right here, but it doesn't look like it contains that much more oil either, although the patch is much wider. So maybe that'll be a temporary stopgap if we can't manage to get the shipyard done soon enough. I am upgrading the wood storage. You can see we're chock full on wood. And that's because I've just been arbitrarily bulldozing a bunch of the trees. But if we did want to get some work done out here, it would make a lot of sense to build a path. In fact, that's a long enough distance, it might be worth getting into trains. While we are sort of there, I have no idea what it takes to keep up with trains. I'm also a little hesitant to even start on new research, because remember, our lab equipment requires mechanical parts, and we're still trying to make some headway there. I think it's time for another assembly 2. We'll hook it in with the iron. Iron plate is doing phenomenal. You can see both warehouses are full, as indicated by the stacks on the side. Now I just gotta figure out the belt system to put them in, and I think this might work. There we go. Now we have 3 assembly 2s making the mechanical parts. That should help that backlog of both vehicle parts and maintenance immensely. I think it'd be smart to get another vehicle parts 2 going, especially considering I have 2 assemblers working on vehicle parts 2. But oh boy, is this conveyor run going to be nasty. Now it is possible to stack conveyor belts, which looks really clean. And what makes it even better is, let's say you have a building over here. Well, you can literally just go to each level of the belts and pull whatever you need off. And it's a really clean way to implement those sort of systems. The pain in the tuchus becomes designing them from the bottom up. It's not really possible to make something look that clean in a situation like this. You have to design the whole thing from the beginning with this in mind. So while that does definitely look cleaner, I don't know if I can pull it off where we need to. Now let's waste a bunch of parts and delete all this. What would be smart is having a huge run where all your electronics, your mechanical parts, even your vehicle parts could all run on one sort of bus. That would just continue to stack higher and higher. But for now, let me figure out this with the spaghetti-like mess that we already have going. I think to start off with, I am just going to move the base maintenance over somewhere out of the way. I don't necessarily need vehicle parts right now, so I don't mind stopping production of it, but the maintenance has to continue. Our backup and temporary maintenance depot is in, so I can deconstruct that one, get rid of all of this nonsense. Now, both maintenance and vehicle parts require the same thing, electronics and mechanical parts. So what my idea is is to have that sort of bus going down this way, and then I can put maintenance and vehicle parts all on it. We'll start by getting rid of vehicle parts, and now if I do this right, I can send this conveyor rail up. It might be too short of an area to make it go directly up. I could use a flat conveyor lift. I mean, that even looks kind of sexy. And then by extending it, I'll have electronics on the bottom and mechanical parts on the top. Look at this, it's gonna look so nice. Except it seems I've done something wrong, because it does not want to pass the mechanical parts through there. It might be because there isn't a output. Let me also get rid of this warehouse. We'll put that in a cleaner's position here in a minute. I'll put down the assemblies there, and now I can come right off the top, go into one input, then come off the bottom, and go into the next. Set the recipes to vehicle parts. Beautiful. And look at that. How beautifully clean. And as expected, the mechanical parts started to flow, and look at the finished product. Isn't that just gorgeous? Now that I've learned some new skills, I kind of want to redo the whole thing. Do let me not forget to set up the warehouse. Probably look a little cleaner if I went this way. So I kind of shoehorned in the warehouse to fit with the old location for the vehicle parts 3, but this still looks a lot cleaner and is going to double our output of vehicle parts 1. And now all we have to do is move the maintenance building back. I'll put it a little further out, just in case we want to expand on vehicle parts 1. The stacked belts are just an absolute beaut. They can be somewhat of a pain to get placed just right. As you can see, I'm having to play with this a little bit, but once you get it set, the finished result is just amazing. One issue that I'm sure that will prop up if I continue on with this belt sort of system like this is if vehicle parts 1 are using all of the mechanical parts, the maintenance depot is not going to get any. But I am sure we'll be fine, so now I can deconstruct all of this. I told you it was going to be temporary. You doubted me. Admit it, you doubted me. Small little problem here at the corner. Since it's the last belt, it didn't put the connector. So I'm just going to extend this down just a couple of more. That way I can put a flat connector here in the bottom. Actually, I could have saved myself some belts just by putting the flat connector in to begin with. There we go. And we have a nice back stock of parts in case we need more maintenance. But right now we're chocked full. Next up is going to be our journey to go get some oil, which, if memory serves me correctly, is right there. So I want to at least have a nice path. What is that glorious stuff there? Oh, groundwater. So I'm going to take my tree harvest designator and just sort of go through with a path like this. Now, I'm doing it in a nice square, knowing the trucks are just going to take the shortest distance between 2 points and cut right through the forest anyways. But there's reasons for this in the future where maybe we're training in some of that oil. But alas, our wood is pretty full. So why don't we try selling off some of it? Let me put the yield trading dock back down temporarily. And that way we can trade with a village. We'll pick these guys. Now what can I sell all the wood for? Iron scrap, concrete. I wish there was currency in this game. Maybe your workers demand to be paid and you'd have to sell off some goods to make money. Something like that. We could also go looking for new trade partners. Maybe I'll start doing that as well. For now though, let me just get some concrete and some iron scrap. More importantly, getting rid of some of this wood so the tree excavators can get to work over here. I should probably also clear this area right here. It'll make it look a little bit cleaner. And with this distance being a little bit further, maybe I should add another truck to each tree harvester. No, they'll be fine. While they're getting to work on that, I'm still not happy with the production of our mechanical parts. You can see we still have none in backstock. The belt's still staying somewhat full, but this is not the way, so I think we're going to upgrade these guys. So now we're taking 30 iron plate and making 24 mechanical parts in 60 seconds instead of the 15 and 12 of before. Yeah, and I'm just going to do all 3. We still have plenty of headroom in our power, thanks to this ridiculously overpowered system that I have half of it turned off still. Elsewhere on news, the left side of our, what are we calling this? The shipping port is almost even. And I think I could probably speed that up if I just get some more excavators. We have plenty of trucks, so let me get 2 more excavators. Let's see, it doesn't make sense for them to go to iron because iron's already full. In fact, I want to upgrade this loose storage. Sand is chock full. Let me upgrade it as well. Over here on copper. Oh wow, we've put a dent in that mountain, quite literally. Let's do the same with the copper storage, upgrading it to a loose storage too. Now over here, I do have a mine control tower, and I'm trying to level this whole area and take all this nonsense and, well, level the seaport with it. So I think this is where we're going to go with the new excavators. Man, the vehicle depots take forever. Even on ×3 speed, it doesn't move very fast. Oh, Nelly, I'm out of housing again. I suppose I still have 128 free workers, so there isn't really a reason for me to build more houses, because that's just more people to feed. In the background, I did add a 4th farm. Eventually, I'd like to see some better industrial food to feed our population. Or maybe a giant agricultural site. Alright, we got 1 excavator out. Let me assign a couple trucks to it. Now, this is a massive area that I have it planned for, but that is okay. I don't really care what all's in here, because in the end, we're just dumping all of it. Clicking on the truck right now, you see it's nothing but dirt. I'm sure there's going to be rock and slag and stuff in here, but nothing that we care too much about. Oh, you have to sort it? Even though we know it's junk? Okay, no, you're going to get gas? Alright, you were just going to get gas. That's okay. Which means I probably want to put a nice fluid storage here. Make sure they have some diesel coming in. There was some concern in the comments about how quickly the diesel demand will pick up because of the new trucks drinking it. And so far we're doing okay. But that is where my initial concern for the oil came in. Because without oil, our island sort of comes to a screeching halt. The next excavator's done, so that's another excavator and 2 more trucks. Now unfortunately it looks like they're taking the shortest route to dump, which is going to be over here. Some of the other mines, the shortest route is here. Let me stay fast forwarded for a few minutes and see which area turns out to be better for our cargo ship. I'm thinking that we put that cargo ship back in service to supplement our oil, which also means I'm going to need some fluid storage for the oil. And I'll put it right there and just connect it into the input here. I wish there was a way, there might be, I just do not know, that I could prioritize the oil coming out of here before we use the oil coming out of the ground. Because when I do have the cargo ship dropping off oil, I'd rather them use it first. There are flat balancers, U-shaped balancers. Oh, there is a pipe balancer. Oh, it's time for me to play with more toys. I'm also going to upgrade our diesel storage to fluid storage 2s. And then I am going to deconstruct this oil tank here because this is going to be a whole thing. Update on the mechanical parts. We have definitely gotten ahead of the curve. Our warehouse is filled with 200 of them and the belts are completely full. So I think we're also going to upgrade that warehouse so I can double the amount in the buffer. And I know I've talked a little bit about why I use buffer tanks so often in games, and it's because they allow for the ebb and flow of demand. Yeah, right now we may not be using a lot of vehicle parts, but when I do start using them and I crank the demand back up, well, it's okay because I'm going to have a massive supply of mechanical parts ready for that to happen. Alternatively, you could just build a lot more assemblers, and that way when your demand ramps up, all of your assemblers start kicking on. In this case, especially in Captain of Industry, your assemblers require power and people, whereas your warehouses only require a tiny little bit of power. They're doing good work here, but I think it's time to apply massive numbers to this situation. We have 126 workers, and we're only utilizing 56 trucks out of 80. Plus, we have plenty of vehicle parts too, and everything seems to be good over here. So let's get ridiculous with it and add 5 excavators and 10 trucks. Remember that demand I was telling you about? Well, each one of these excavators requires 60 vehicle parts too and 30 glass. So the system is definitely going to take a shock, but we're prepared for it. And while I'm doing that, let's send our ship out. Our crew's just been sitting in there doing absolutely nothing for a while. We do have some crude oil sitting in here, and I can't offload it because the shipyard is full. More oil, so I should probably put that buffer tank back. And let me start by putting in a pipe balancer. Oh, look at this. I can connect the oil supply into there. The output's going to go over that way. I can deconstruct these lines here. Yeah, we just killed diesel, but it's okay. It's coming right back. I will put a backup storage of oil right there. Connect it with a pipe. And look at this. It shows the pipes coming in and out. So I'm going to prioritize this one in, have them input crude oil here. And now from the shipyard, oil's being dropped off. And as you can see, the oil in the tank is being prioritized over our pumps. Oh, that is absolutely magical and beautiful. And the fact that you can prioritize different outputs and inputs is absolutely beautiful. This changes so much for me. Now granted, we're drinking that oil pretty quickly, so the oil pumps are going to come on pretty soon, but at least we have no more oil in our storage. Man, how do I get rid of all this? I'm going to change the priority of keeping this empty to 1. Hopefully that helps. I still can't offload the oil in the ship because of the cargo area being so full. In anticipation of our shipyard being used, I am going to go ahead and unlock Cargo Depot 2. Gives us, looks like a medium fluid modules. And it also looks like we'll be able to make our depot a little bit bigger. I'm making some headway getting rid of the cargo. As you can see, we still have a lot of copper, iron, and impure copper. Well, one way I can help this out is by making these unit storage buildings bigger, and that way there's available room for trucks to drop off more cargo. In other cases, such as the copper electrolysis, it was set to trucks import only if the belts can't, so I changed it to trucks can import cargo, and I saw some of that impure getting dropped off. Somehow they brought the limestone back. Why would you do that? All of our excavators are finished, so I can boost that up. What was there, 2? There's now 7. And if each excavator needs another 2 trucks, that means I need 10 more trucks here. Now this mountain is going to collapse under the weight of my giant excavator army. Of course, so is my diesel supply. Maybe I should set up another distillation lab and double our diesel output? I did also notice that one of these diesel generators was firing every once in a while, so I did enable our other flywheels and turbines, so hopefully we won't be using as much diesel there. And yet they're still running. What's going on? We have a max capacity of 9.6 megawatts. They should not be running at all. It should be all this. Maybe it was still getting spun up. On the good news front, though, it looks like this side of our shipyard is complete. Now, eventually I want to move this around because it's not as even with the rest of the shoreline. But for now, we're going to put in our cargo depot, 4 slots. Maybe I should put it further over here. Then I'm going to add the fluid modules. Oh, I actually have better fluid modules now too. So let's go to the fluid module 2s. Now this is going to take a massive amount of equipment. Each one of these is requiring 60 construction part 3s. And here comes our wonderful little cargo ship again. It is manned with 22 workers. So all I have to do is unpause the oil rig. It's manned with 36 workers, and all of a sudden we're down to 42 workers. I am going to reduce the ship speed to save fuel. And I think we're just going to straight up add another diesel manufacturing site because this is not keeping up with the business. So I think what we're going to do is just copy this whole kit and caboodle. Why are these diesel generators running again? We don't have fuel for that. They're set on priority 11. Missing input products. All you need is steam. And you need coal and water. Why are you missing coal? There's coal sitting right in here. Let me upgrade this and then raise its priority. We'll say it's an 8. That way coal's always brought to our power plant first. And there's some coal going in now. And the boiler is spinning up. And the flywheels are starting again. And we're down to 27 diesel. I really need to get working on this immediately. I think we'll just sort of mirror it. I think I'm literally just going to copy this whole thing right here. I can rotate it, but that looks kind of ugly. Yeah, this will be fine right here. And then we just got to make some modifications, for instance, from the water coming in. And then we need an oil line coming out. No, that is horrendous. Let's go over and then in. Both of them have equal priority. But remember, these distillers can take 60 crude oil and we're only producing 60. So it's probably smart to add some more of these. And I will just line them up the exact same way. And then I'll just take the diesel output and plug it right in there. Oh, that looks horrible, but it's what we've got. Okay, I'll move it. Now this looks all good and fancy except for one problem. I don't think the trucks can get close enough, or at least it will be a pain in the butt for the trucks to get close enough to our fluid storage here. Can I put a ramp here? Or better yet, let me move the oil buffer tank to the other side. That makes a lot more sense. And then I'll just input it onto this side of the pipe balancer and make sure we prioritize it. And I'm going to stack a few of these. All right, why aren't all of you working? Output is full. Oh, touche. No wonder we've been having a problem. The pipes are going in the wrong direction this whole time. Did I even need more oil pumps? All right, our pump jacks are starting to work now. We're slowly starting to churn out some more diesel. Now, I don't love our new diesel production. It's just a little too duplicative for me. I would have rather cleaned it up nicer. For instance, you don't need 2 boilers because 1 boiler makes plenty of steam, but we're in a bit of a hurry. One of the issues that we're running into the fact is that because we're producing so much so quickly is the sour water is backing up. You can see it comes out of here, so I'm thinking about making a run that goes all the way out to the sea. Now, before I hear any complaints, it's going to be ugly. There's going to be pipes going everywhere. Oh, this is so ridiculously expensive, too. Don't worry about it. It's going to be fine. No. Why did you do that? You need to stay tall till about this point here. Then you can go in there. All right, there's one hooked up. And now all I have to do is connect the other. All right, so we have sour water being piped out now. And it's only a little ugly. All right, I have the pipes in. Unfortunately, we need a lot more parts. A bunch of construction parts, which we're sort of running low because, well, everything's collapsing under the weight of our massive little excavator army, requiring all that diesel. Now, granted, they have torn apart this mountain, so I think we're going to pause this for just a minute. That way these excavators stop using all the fuel in the world. But man, did they do a good job in a short period of time. During some of this downtime, I realized earlier I could have just clicked the toggle direction button on the pipe. Good to know. We've learned a lot of new things during this episode. Okay, mistakes were made. Let me try to run this back and explain all the bad stuff that has happened. We do finally have our upgraded diesel going, and all the pipes with the sour water are being emptied out to the ocean. I think I may actually have to add another liquid dump here soon because you can see it sort of takes turns with the wastewater. In fact, I'll go ahead and do that now. And I'll remove wastewater from the one that is automatically taking in all the sour water and remove sour water from this one. So the trucks are going to bring wastewater to this one and all the sour water automatically gets outputted to the sea there. But what was happening when we were having that fuel shortage is trucks were running out of fuel, which means they couldn't drive and drop off things like coal, which paused iron production. Pausing iron production, having iron production backed up, hurts just about the entire industry, to include construction parts, which was preventing all these pipes from being installed, and even maintenance from being done. Maintenance is starting to climb back up, thankfully. It was touch and go. It's only been, I don't know, a couple of years, and after all of that, we're down to about 15,000 barrels of oil. So I really need to get our cargo ship underway. It's just waiting for a little bit of diesel, which interestingly enough could be fueled with heavy oil. Right now, we're just burning off the heavy oil using this flare. Why don't I try something? I'm going to select heavy oil. I'm going to add a fluid storage here, get rid of this flare and this flare, and connect both the distillers to this tank here where we'll be storing the heavy oil. And then I just click the change fuel type, and now our cargo ship is using heavy oil. It'll require 101 for a single journey with the reduction of ship speed, saving fuel. If I uncheck this, it's a 144, but we get the crude oil back in half the time, and I think we're going to opt for that. And then on its fuel module, I just have to select, hey, keep this thing full. Now, this is not such a long distance. I could connect the heavy oil output pipes directly to the cargo depot. There is a pipe input, but we have plenty of trucks. It'll be fine. Additionally, I don't want to add more to the pipe spaghetti we already have, especially around this area. And there goes our cargo ship. Go get us some good oil, buddy. All right, I guess I'll do it anyways. What's the worst it can be? I'll try to raise this up to as far as it can go. Oh, I was off by 1. It's in the third little square of this square. Yes, it's very scientific, but when you keep everything lined up nice, it only looks somewhat like spaghetti. No, 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 no. That needs to be raised up too. Otherwise, trucks are not going to be able to get in there. There we go. That's much better. Now the trucks can still drive through here. We're still using the fluid storage as a buffer tank. That way, even if this is full, there's still storage enough for the heavy oil to output. And oh my goodness, the cargo ship is already back. And we have 500 barrels of crude oil here, here. Oh, they're all chocked full. Okay, I'll do it. I will add these pipes to the nonsense, and I'll try to run them parallel to the heavy oil. Now, each one of these fluid modules has 2 outputs. I don't think we have to use both of them. And now we have crude oil coming directly off the cargo ship as well, going directly into these fluid storages and being prioritized over the oil pumps. And it looks like when clicking on a pipe that it has a maximum throughput of about 56 barrels per second. At least that's what I believe that means. Hence the reason we're still going to be using oil from some of our pump jacks, because we require a throughput of 120 barrels per second. Clicking on something like water, it looks like it has a different throughput. In this case, 21. The heavy oil, 62. Let's look at something else like the sour water, 53. Let me know in the comments below if I'm reading that incorrectly. But either way, we've now supplemented our oil with the cargo ship. Maintenance is back up to 100%, and all of our inventory levels are starting to fix themselves. Shortly after I installed this system, I realized there was going to be a problem. What if the amount of fuel that the cargo ship can take, even as it's taking trips and going to get more crude oil, is not enough to keep the distillations empty? We then end up in a situation where we're not creating more diesel because we're full on heavy oil, and we're full on heavy oil because the cargo ship's full. Well, that's where our little buddy, my favorite new tool, the pipe balancer, came into play. So now I have it prioritized going out to this buffer tank, which keeps the cargo ship fuel. Anything extra then goes into this flare, which makes this perfect. We're using the heavy oil to the best that we can, while also not using any diesel in the cargo ship, and still keeping diesel production going. I thought it was a nice little touch, and well, very much required. And since we're back up to 1200 diesel, I think we can unpause this mine control tower, and that's how we'll end the episode, watching this mountain fall. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. We did a lot to expand the capability of our industry, and I'm looking forward to hearing what you have to say in the comments below. So until next time, much love, happy gaming, and I'll talk to you soon.